Well, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome to my domain. I am Psycheshire. I am your host. And Shadow is going to be letting me know if he can hear my voice. Because with the particular game that we're going to be playing tonight, you're going to need to hear my voice. So, as I'm talking, I know there's about I don't know, 30 seconds to 2 minute lag. So hopefully in a moment, Shadow's going to say, Yo, I hear your voice. That way that I know we can, Yeep, see, I told you. He can hear my voice. Excellent. Okay, so welcome to my domain, guys. I am Psycheshire. Again, I am your host. And if you are new here, then let me let you know one of the secrets of my streams. Number one, this is a family. I consider ourselves a family. That also means that when I play games, you guys are involved in it. It is not just I play by myself. You're playing with me. So, that means as we go through the game, there's going to be opportunities for you to help me make choices in the game. For instance, it will say, do X for number one, do Y for number two, do blah, blah, blah. Usually at least four options. When I get to that part and you see something that says one, two, three, four, if you already know what you want, because you can read faster than I do, because I'm going to put a lot of dramatic into what I read. Whenever it goes, or whenever you see the options and you already know what you want, throw them out there. Do not wait for me to ask, because I'm going to ask. Won't go past it unless I ask. So it looks like you're the one in control, not me. So as we go through the game, you're going to be the one that is control of my choices. Ooh, what a responsibility that is. So if you do not choose and you snooze, you lose. So make sure you throw out your options there quickly so that we can continue to move on. As far as the stream is concerned, I'm going to be streaming a little bit over an hour, more than likely, because I literally just got home and wanted to make sure that I did not let you down, that we continued on with our story. And I have either some Dead by Daylight or Phasmo waiting for me in my Discord a little bit later, which I do intend on playing. So, I want to tell you something that happened earlier tonight. And it's important because a lot of times you don't hear about this kind of stuff. But um, my roommate had a really bad week. So he asked, can we at least go out somewhere, out to eat or something to make tonight, because I'm going to start a lot of different like classes and stuff next semester. I'm like, sure, let's go. So we went out to eat. Went to a very nice restaurant. And the table next to us, it was like a booth. The booth next to us, there was a woman over there with a family, bunch of kids, and she started bitching, like Karen level bitching at the manager about how the waitress sucked. I mean, it was cruel. And I'm just over there listening, thinking, So, when you hear someone doing that, the Karen's going to walk off. The Karen isn't going to give a rat's ass about who it affected. The Karen's not going to care about who that upset, and they're going to be a Karen to the next person. But what you can do is help the person it's going to matter to the most. So I got up, went and found the manager. I said, let me speak to the waitress. So I called the waitress over. I said, look, there's one Karen in this place. And there's probably 50 really good people in this place. So do not let the one Karen fuck with you. And I said, there's so much better in you that this person is not going to see and doesn't deserve to. So she's like in tears, and she had been crying in the office in the restaurant. And I said, no, 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 we're not going to do this. I said, you don't need to let this Karen get to you like that. I said, I don't want you to go home, because she was a college student. She was, you know, just started this job. So, and the manager said it was one of his favorite waitresses who always did everything right. So I wanted her to remember tonight, not because of the Karen and how upset she was. So I paid not only my bill for my food, I paid for my tip at the highest level and then paid for the table next to its tip at the highest level to make sure when she walked out of there, yeah, she had a crap experience. But she had somebody pull her aside that said, don't listen to the crap experience. And I want you to remember this for the positivity of the tonight, not the negativity of tonight. If you hear someone being a Karen and you see it affect somebody, addressing the Karen might not actually do anything except set fire on fire. And trust me, I am fire. You throw fire at me and I'm going to come fire right back. So what I do is I find the victims of the Karens and I let them know that that is a Karen and they're okay and that they did a great job and they're a wonderful person. Help the people affected by the Karens because the Karens may not change, but the people that are affected by the Karens are the ones that get hurt. And that's what I did tonight. So I feel good about that. I feel like I helped somebody. So that is cool. By the way, I'm a nasty, evil Banu. So that's just one time I was nice. I'm never nice other than that. That's a lie. But, I want to be vicious. I just had to say that so that maybe some of you that are not quite as vicious as I am pick something up from that. And it's not just fighting the Karens, it's helping the people who get hit by the Karens. All right. So that was my speech for tonight. Just thought I'd tell you about that experience. And tonight, one of the reasons I want to get off, I really want to get off. The reason I want to get off tonight early is to be able to, one, game, and two, if I feel like it, cosplay. I got some TikTok songs that are so cool that I really want to do some cosplay too. So that's another one. So that is my game for tonight. We're going to go through and read this story. And then I will also be back on Wednesday at 10 p.m. I'm trying to decide if I want to do Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided. So you guys get to help me out. While I'm reading, assuming you hear what I'm saying, type out in the chat, do you think I should stream 10 or 10:30 on Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? So I can figure that out. Because every time I do it, I think I'm off the time for a good time to do it. So let me know. All right, you guys ready? Are you ready to read this story? Come on. I'm going to assume it's a yes because I am. We know I'm brat-like that I make the rules. Okay, I'm going to go read the story. Hold on. Buckle up. Be right back. Can you hear me? Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. So, let's go through this game. As I said, as we go down this sheet and we flip, make sure that you pay attention and you look at what we've got. You ready? All right, here we go. Adam's office is only a short walk away down Red Tree Road and sits on a quiet street surrounded by residential homes and a row of elm trees. The front of the store has one long window with black letters spelling out Bain and Sons Accounting. On the other side of the window sit several workers, Adam, his brother Seth, and their mother Anna. Each one is working with a client, and only Adam acknowledges you, step inside. You cross the short room to a wooden bench in a narrow waiting area close to his desk. Mr. McCrae, the IRS has no reason to call your phone. I can say with 100% certainty no one from the FBI is coming to arrest you for unpaid taxes. Keep in mind you are mostly retired from your plumbing business and only earn a small amount from ad hoc work. Your income is not on the IRS's radar. Adam speaks in a deeper voice than you're used to, presenting a tone of authority and confidence. Mr. McCrae licks his lips and leans over the front of the desk. So far, his long, straight, gray beard touches the surface. His gray hair looks white under the iridescent lights. I hear what you're saying, but the fella told me he knew all my bank account figures and was sending my file over to the FBI in Chicago unless I settled up over the phone. Trust me, you have nothing to worry about. If anyone from the IRS or the FBI or any other agencies contact you, feel free to give them my number. Don't say a word to these people otherwise, and don't pay them a cent. Mr. McCrae smacks his lips and ends with a frown. Is your father around? Maybe I should ask him. He stands and looks down over Adam, clearly eyeing his wheelchair. Sitting there listening, you suppress the urge to interject. My father is in a meeting across town, Adam says, his tone betraying a sense of annoyance. He will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Mr. McCrae folds his arms over his chest. Now, don't get all pissy with me, boy. I don't appreciate the tone of your voice. Adam's mother leans back in her chair and looks over, a look of concern on her face. Adam stammers, his cheeks turning blotchy and red. I'm sorry. I just want you to understand. Someone in your condition shouldn't be get all riled up. Tell your dad I'll give him a ring later. As Mr. McCrae turns to leave, here you go, chat. This is where you get to get involved. We have number 1. Say to Mr. McCrae, excuse me, sir, you don't know me, but I can tell you Adam is an exceptional accountant, and everything he's telling you is accurate. Or number 2, say to Mr. McCrae, you're a really rude man, and Adam is trying to stop you from getting scammed. You don't deserve his help. Or number 3, say to Mr. McCrae, so, you think the IRS and FBI are after a semi-retired plumber in this insignificant town? Or number 4, try to convince Mr. McCrae that the phone call was a scam. Sir, may I have a moment of your time? Or 5, say to Adam in a loud voice, Adam, do you have to deal with a lot of assholes like that all the time? Or 6, say to Adam after Mr. McCrae leaves, I don't know how you manage to stay so calm with him. I don't know how to get through to people that just can't see reason. So here you go, chat. What do you think we should do? 1, basically tell him he's an exceptional accountant. 2, tell the dude he's rude. Number 3, Say, are you aware that you're kind of insignificant? 4. Try to convince the phone call was a scam. 5. Ask Adam, does he always deal with assholes? And 6. After he leaves, ask. You think 4? You could do 4. I mean, if you do 1, it's a way to acknowledge Adam. If you do 2, I mean, if you do, you could just wait in the alley and just, twist his head off. Oh shit, that's a Sabat way. I'm sorry. Never mind. I keep having to remember I'm not playing a Sabat. You can do any of them. It's a matter of how much you want to promote Adam or defend Adam, or how much you want this dude to know he's an ass. So, you're thinking 4, Shadow? I can do 4. Want to do 4? Most IRS calls. Okay, so most calls are a scam. Okay, we'll do 4. What do you think? We'll try 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to convince him. Let's see how much charm we have. Mr. McCrae pauses by the door and turns to you. A quick moment. You shift forward in your seat. Right now, in other parts of the world, hundreds of people are able to get access information about us. When they even get a little bit of our data, they spoof their number to call us and pretend to be someone, usually an organization. That would intimidate us into giving them money or access to our bank accounts. Mr. McCrae raises an eyebrow. What do you mean by spoof? They can make a phone call look like one in our area code to trick us into thinking it's a local call. Like a hack? He asks. I heard my son use that term. You stand next to him. Yes, sir. Exactly. So they pretend to be someone in your area, like the IRS, and they try to trick you into giving them money. But you didn't, right? You were too smart for them. That's why you're here, letting Adam know how you got the best of one of those guys. Mr. McCrae stands a little taller. Damn right you are. They're a bunch of snake oil salesmen in the modern day. But you're right, I was too smart for them. The fella kept yelling at me the whole time, and I was wondering why some egghead from the IRS would be yelling so much. He turns to Adam. Glad we had this chat. No need to have your father call me. I got the whole picture now. Adam's mother walks up to Mr. McCrae. Is everything okay? You have a good son there, he says to her. Make sure he works on my account from now on. With that, he leaves the store. Miss Baines smiles at you when the door closes. She turns to you. It's good to see you, Chaos. Welcome back to Jericho Heights. Thanks for the backup. I feel like I was saying the same thing as you, but whatever, he says. Seth stands from his desk and steps over to Adam. To hell with that guy. He's always been such a bastard. I can't stand him or his sons. Sorry he treated you like that. The two brothers look a lot alike, though Seth is older and thinner, and his hair hangs low and in a ponytail. They both resemble their father, Daniel, who was always regarded as the Jericho Casanova. At least that's how it was when you were a kid. In this last summer you spent visiting your grandfather, one of Daniel's affairs surfaced, which almost ended his marriage. The marriage continued, and so did the affairs. Anna looked the other way and threw her attention harder into the business. Daniel's lies got better and the wheels kept turning. Seth returns to his desk, and Adam rolls from behind his own. Feel like taking a walk? He asks you. I need some air to clear my head. He's right. Then they get so angry you pop off script or point at holes in the screen. I'm saying. You and Adam stroll down Red Tree Road, away from the accounting office, and into the shade of elm trees lining the sidewalk. The temperature is almost perfect today, though you notice sweat on Adam's brow. He always ran hot, even as a kid. He once passed out from heat stroke during the stretch of 100-degree weather when you were both 13. As you reach the corner, Adam cuts up the cross street. All these years of me complaining that there's no way for me to get down into the street, and nothing ever happens. He pushes his wheelchair another 20 feet to ride down the ramp of the driveway, and then backtrack to the crosswalk to stay on Red Tree Road. At the next corner, the sidewalk is still not sloped, but raised 2 or 3 inches. He pops up the front wheels, but struggles to make it onto the curb. Here we go, chop. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, I grab the back handlebars and push him up the curb. Or 2, do you need help up the curb? I ask. Or 3, you've got a lot of tricks with that thing, I say, joking around. Or 4, it's impressive how you navigate around town. I give you a lot of credit. What do you want to do? 1, 2, 3, or 4? What are you thinking? I could do any of them. I mean, you know. I don't know. What do you think? Loki thinks 1. Shadow, you gonna vote? Come on, Shadow, vote. Who else do we have scouting about in my domain? Come on, some of you peeps. Say something. Give me a vote. Give me a vote. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, I grab the back handlebars, push him up. 2, ask him if he needs help. Seriously, yeah, Shadow, I agree. 3, you got a lot of tricks with that thing. Or 4, it's impressive how you navigate around town. I kind of would go 3. Here's why. In a way, you're complimenting him by saying he's got a lot of tricks. But if you're joking and he does need help, he might be like, yeah, come on, help me out. If you say how impressed you are, but yet he can't get up, he's going to feel like crap. If you ask him if he needs help, he might be ashamed or embarrassed to say yes. And number 1, if you just do it for him, he might be like, damn. But if you do 3, you're kind of being the smartass. I kind of like 3. So I don't know. What do you think? I'll do whatever the majority rules. After all, you are the boss. At least for the next, I don't know, little bit. So you're the boss of me for just a little bit, and then that's it. So come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3's good too. So we got a 1, and we've got a 3. What else? We need a majority, or I vote. And if I vote, not sure what I'll do. Who knows? So right now we got a 1, we got a 3. Let's see. I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to go with 3 because I just want to see what it says. I don't think we're going to die from it. Hopefully not. Adam laughs. I've had to learn a lot. I try to be as independent as I can. Just because I use a wheelchair doesn't mean I have to limit myself to where I go and what I do. Wait till you see me in the snow. I ordered a front end snow shovel for the winter. He rocks the chair until the two back wheels hop onto the curb. I can't wait to see it. Let me know how much you charge to clear snow from the front of my shop. The two of you continue on the sidewalk for another block before turning down Elmwood Street. A doctor's office, a craft store, and a coffee shop all line the streets. Farther down is Ginger's garden, where dozens of potted plants and colorful flowers sit out in front of the store. Outside of it, a man in a long apron unravels a garden hose and waves at Adam as he spots him. Hi, Jameer, Adam says, releasing one wheel to wave. How's it going? Jameer turns on the faucet. Water trickles from the end of the hose. Better hurry up, he says with a smile. Something hides in that smile when he looks away. His deep set eyes stare off in the distance. You and Adam pick up the pace to pass the store. Jameer twists the faucet and water sprays out across the sidewalk and onto the flowers. Once you pass, Adam wheels closer to you and whispers, Poor guy. Jameer came here about 10 years ago as a war refugee from South Sudan. Saw all sorts of bad stuff. You glance over your shoulder at Jameer and bump into Adam's wheelchair. That's horrible. Yeah, he's a good guy, though. And well, if there are any loud noises like fireworks or something, don't make fun of him. I never would, you reply. Adam nods and changes the subject. So have you heard any news about the missing teen? Nothing since last night. Adam shakes his head. There's something going on in this town. I'm getting super worried. What are you worried about? You and Adam turn down an alley back towards the accounting office. Just forget I said anything. I hope they find Tyler. Finish your thought. You can't leave me hanging like that. Adam takes a deep breath. I just think that a lot of events in the city are all tied together. First, Monroe Duncan goes missing, and now Tyler. There have been other happenings in Jericho that you don't know about since you've been away. Here we go, chat. Get ready to vote. Number 1, what other events have happened? Number 2, you're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist. Number 3, people go missing all the time in Chicago. Jericho Heights is not immune to missing people just because it's a small town. Number 4, I don't know if they're connected or not, but I just hope they find both of them. Number 5, I've witnessed a few strange things since I've gotten back to Jericho Heights. Which way do you want to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? What are you thinking? Let's see. What do I think? I would want to know about the other events. I don't think I would say I was a conspiracy theorist. Don't think I'd go number 3. By dismissing someone when they're offering you information means they're not going to give you the information. But if you don't dismiss it, you might be able to get some good stuff. You think 5? I could see 1 or 5, won't lie. I could see 1 or 5. Either. What do you think? 5? Mm, I guess we'll go 5. So let's try 5. He's gonna ask us, though, but he better volunteer some info. Oh, really? What have you heard? Adam asks. Why don't you talk first? Adam swallows and hesitates before speaking. I know this sounds crazy, but a few weeks ago, I, I saw something I can't explain. See, after my accident, my dad converted our den to a bedroom for me. So on this particular night, my parents were out of town, and Seth was spending a few nights at our house while he was getting his roof repaired. I heard footsteps upstairs, but I knew Seth was asleep. He always gets up super early and falls asleep by 10, but I'm a night owl. Someone else was upstairs. You and Adam stop outside of the office. Just through the glass window, his mother beckons him in. You can't go until you finish your story. I hate cliffhangers. He holds up his hand to his mother, indicating 1 minute. Then he turns back to you. His left eye twitches and he's breathing faster. So Seth was upstairs asleep, and someone else was walking around. They were light steps, too, and seemed to glide across the floor. It's an old house with a lot of weak floorboards, and I barely heard a creak. I must have sat at the bottom of the stairs for an hour, listening, waiting, afraid. I still remember my heart beating. I was covered in sweat. I didn't know who was up there, but for some reason, I was terrified. You've never seen Adam like this before, and whether or not you believe the story, he believes it. So what happened? Could you see anything from the bottom of the stairs? Did you hear anything else? He lowers his head, takes a deep breath, and lets it out slowly. I did see someone at the top of the stairs. We have a spare room that is barely ever open. Mom wanted to make it into a sewing room, but it just became a big storage closet. For some reason, the door was open, and on the back of it is a full-length mirror. Maybe the wind blew it open. I don't know, but I saw a reflection. It was after midnight and completely dark, but in the moonlight, I could see a figure stepping across the hall. I think it was a woman in a long red dress. Just when I caught a glimpse of her, she moved away in a blur. It was the damnedest thing, and for days I replayed that moment in my mind, questioning whether it was a figment of my imagination or if it was real. Either way, that sounds really creepy. Did you ever talk to your brother about what happened? Adam turns his chair towards the store, but waits to enter. He was sick the next day, pale, tired, cold. We took him to see Dr. Lobo, and she diagnosed him with acute anemia. She told him to eat steak for a few days in a row and come back for a follow-up. But it doesn't make sense. It's not like he was injured or even had a nosebleed, but he was just drained. So what was it? Or who was it? Look, I don't know, he says, his voice shaking. I gotta go. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for the walk. Adam heads into the office, and you turn and walk away, still thinking of the story he just told you and the woman in the red dress. As you reflect on the past few days in Jericho Heights, you feel we got 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1, excited there's something going on in this town and I want to learn all I can about it. Or number 2, unsettled and concerned. I'm worried about my friends and the people of Jericho Heights. Number 3, skeptical. I don't believe any big bad evil lurking at night in Jericho Heights. There has to be a logical explanation for what happened to Adam's brother. Or 4, contemplative. If something's going on here, how can I use it to my advantage? What do you think? I'd be thinking, yo, I'm going to wait upstairs and go, where you at? Come on. Come on. I'm waiting. You got something to say? You got some little fangy bitey bites? You want to come on and take a nibble? I'm game. Let's go. Come on. I'm waiting. You're gonna hide? Oh, then again, that to me just becomes an yeah, it becomes a delicious appetizer. Hey, Barlios! Woot! Hi, Barlios. Hello, Loki. I know you've been here the whole time. So we got a one, a one, a one. We're going with a one. We're going to go with one. We're excited. We want to catch us a vampire. We want to catch. Okay, I'm kidding. No, I'm not. What happened to Adam's brother raises a lot of questions. And with someone breaking into your home last night and the disappearance of Tyler Sanders, you have a feeling these events are all connected. Now you just have to find the common thread. And Nom Sandman Torador, methinks. Maybe, could be. Could, why would a Tory sneak in? Yeah. You make your way back home to check on the store, feed Hex and get a bite to eat. Waiting for you outside is a young man in a blue button-down shirt and gray pants. Sorry, I closed the shop for a few minutes, you say, unlocking the door. Is there something I can help you with? He holds out his hand to you. I am Lan Fan. You may have received a text from me earlier. Technically, I work for your store. You open the door and walk in, Lam following closely behind. You stop at the counter and turn to him. Okay, now what's this all about? Before you can speak, Lam hands you a resume, though it is off-center and somewhat grainy. I apologize for how this looks. The laser printer at the library was out of ink, so I had to use a dot matrix printer. You give it a glance and see his full name is Kwang Tu Lam Fan, and he has worked at 3 jobs previously. This very store for 6 days as a beverage specialist at Morning Pulse Coffee Shop and as a sales coordinator at Double 20's Hobby Shop. So, you go by Lamb? You ask. He blinks hard a few times. Yes, I prefer it. My full name is long and difficult for Americans to say. I now go by my middle name, since it's easy to pronounce. If that's what you prefer, you say. He straightens his stance like he's at attention in a military line. So when would you like me to start? Whoa, slow down. Let me ask you a few questions first. Okay, fine. Just so you know, I am the hardest worker you will ever hire. I greatly enjoyed working for your grandfather, and I know the store very well. I am never late and only need minimal breaks. Are you a robot? You ask. Lamb cracks a smile. I wish. Sadly, I am not. If there were ever an option to transfer my consciousness into an android, I would do it. No questions asked. Please ask me anything you'd like. You say, here we go. Interrogation time. Chat, you get to help. Number 1, how was it working for my grandfather? Number 2, do you know a girl named Michaela? She used to work here. Number 3, what do you like most about Jericho Heights? Number 2, what do you like least about Jericho Heights? Number 5, as an employee, what would you say is your greatest asset and your greatest weakness? Number 6, why'd you leave your other jobs? Number 7, would you be able to accept less pay? Number 8, you're hired. When can you start? Number 9, I can't hire you right now, Lamb. What do you want to go with? We got a lot to choose. Just pick something. Count them out. But what are your thoughts? I mean, I'm hoping we can ask a lot of them and we won't just get stuck with one or two. I'm hoping. Doesn't mean that'll happen. You're thinking 5, Shadow, which is as an employee, what would you say is your greatest asset? And what is your greatest weakness? I can't believe I can actually do that with fangs in my mouth still. That's cracking me up. Because usually your tongue hits the back of your fangs and it actually stops you from doing it. I'm impressed with what I can do with my tongue now. Ooh. Okay, I'm kidding. Never mind. Actually, I'm not kidding. But I'll move on. Okay, you're thinking 5, Shadow. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The employee, your greatest asset? Let's ask that. Let's hope they'll let us ask a lot more things, too. I'm that kind of curious little freak. I have a tireless work ethic. I do not get wrapped up in the trivialities of typical 19-year-olds, and I have unmatched focus, he says, holding his hands to the side of his temples like he's imitating horse blinders. And your weaknesses? Lamb lowers his hands again and stammers before clearing his throat and starting again. I normally do not reveal my weaknesses, but since this is an interview, I feel compelled to answer. Sometimes I get flustered when talking to stupid people. Unfortunately, you come across a lot of stupid people in retail. I have been working on my ability to talk to people, even when I feel they lack basic common sense or intelligence. I feel your pain. Okay, great, you say and move on. Lamb scans the store, his expression not giving away his thoughts. You need a lot more customers in here. Did you market the store before your grand opening? So we got 3. Either 1, of course I did, they're all invisible. Or number 2, I'm not the one being interviewed here. Or number 3, I did market the store and had a huge opening this morning. It died down right before you got here. What do you think? 1, 2, or 3? What are you feeling? Same man, same. So what are we thinking? 1, 2, or 3? That did crack me up. What can I say? What can I say? What are you thinking? 1, 2, 3? I mean, you thinking 3? Okay, we'll go 3. We'll try 3. Why not? We'll go 3. Squee. 3. 3 Barlius. 3 Shadow. All right, we'll go 3. Liam looks around the store again. We will need to develop a marketing plan to sustain the customer's flow. He takes out a notepad from his jacket pocket and jots something down. He writes for a moment, looks up to you, waiting for your next question. All right, here we go. We get to ask another one. How was it like working for my grandfather? Number 1. Number 2, do you know a girl named Michaela? She used to work here. Number 3, what do you like most about Jericho Heights? Number 4, what do you like least about Jericho Heights? 5, why did you leave the other jobs? 6, would you be able to accept less pay? 7, you're hired. When can you start? 8, I can't hire you. Which one? I will be honest, I'm liking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I would touch the less pay or that you're hired or that you can't hire. I would get everything else because we're getting a lot of really good info. So I'm thinking, y'all thinking five. Barley is sure thinking five. I like this guy too. He's pretty cool. Mm, one, two, three, four. Want to go five? Let's go five. Let's go five. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll go five. Why did you leave your other jobs? Liam puts on a scowl. Differences of opinion. Would you mind elaborating? Normally, yes, I would mind, but under these circumstances, I must answer your questions. I worked at Double Twenties, a hobby shop, for almost 6 months. I was by far the top salesman. Even the owner could not compare with my sales numbers each month. I made suggestions around the holiday season to change the layout of the store to be more efficient. The owner rejected the idea and went so far as to ridicule it. It was then I realized he lacked the leadership skills that were necessary for me to thrive. And what about the Morning Pulse? What happened there? Liam scoffs and folds his arms over his chest. The owners left me in charge quite often to take long breaks and extended lunches. One day I showed exceptional initiative and altered the ordering system to maximize profits and lessen the time it took for customers to order. When the two owners returned, they had the audacity to reverse all of my changes and send me home for the day. I took great offense at this and never returned. Try ordering a double large latte when you're in a rush. Good luck. The front door rattles from the wind, and the chimes jingle as though a customer were entering. I'm enjoying this interview more than the one I had with your grandfather. Liam adjusts a display stand on the counter. So here we go. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Either one, how is it working for my grandfather? That one I would be cool with. Number two, do you know a girl named Michaela? She used to work here. That's number two. Number three, what do you like most about Jericho Heights? Number four, what do you like least about Jericho Heights? Number five, would you be able to pay accept less pay? Six, when can you start? Seven, I can't hire you now. I still like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the others kind of like. He does seem like he's kind of full of himself, but it's almost like he's OCD, computerized, sort of like is trying to maximize profits, but if others don't do it, he's just going to do it anyway. So it's like you're thinking one, how is it working for my grandfather? Yeah. I'm the think outside the box kind of chick. So we got a 1 with gamer. We got a 2 with barleyers. I would prefer to do 1, 2, 3, or 4, but remember my hands are tied and you're my boss. So I do what you say. He, I could do 1, I could do 2, I could do 3, could do any of them. How about we do this? We're going to go 1, and I have a feeling they're going to allow me to keep going, and then we're going to hit 2. So let's try 1. Liam considers the question before answering. I very much enjoyed working for him. I found it very educational, and he gave me the freedom to sell to customers without the micromanagement I have seen at other jobs. To be fair, working for him was not without challenges. I found him to be quite secretive and prone to anger. Not that it was directed towards me. Sometimes his face would turn so red and his voice would get so low and scratchy, I thought he was a demon. Otherwise, I enjoyed it very much. What? That's what a demon sounds like? Ooh. Good to know. Let me write this down. Hold on. Demons sound like very low and scratchy. Okay, I'm done. You really nailed it. Described him perfectly. The store door opens. and in walks an older woman with a cane in one hand and a small, shaggy dog under her arm. She walks straight towards the counter and places the dog on the surface. He wags his tail and lies down like he's been there a million times. The dog's comfort in the way the woman moves to the store suggests she has been there a number of times. But before you can open your mouth, Lamb steps up to her. "Miss Jenkins, it's a pleasure to see you today. How can we help you today?" She smiles at him, hands him her cane, and takes out her purse. "Oh, Liam, I left the house and didn't even remember to bring my doggy bags. And Baxter had his afternoon ritual right outside the door. Do you have any for sale?" Liam leans over the counter, reaches under it, and grabs a small plastic bag. "Will this do?" She smiles with an all too happy giggle. "Thank you so much. That's perfect." As she reaches for it, Liam holds on. "Why don't I go out there and clean it up? Maybe you will see something like you like in here." He makes his way to the door, leaving you with Miss Jenkins. "Oh, that boy is slick. Oh, what a wonderful young man." She stares around the room as her eyes go wide. "Oh dear, I love that. Can I see it?" She points to a Kindle Paperwhite. "My grandson has one of those. Would you be so kind to show it to me?" "Hello, Bardic Sway, and welcome to my domain. Come on in and hang out. Relax with me. I'm reading. You can help me as we get to choices because we're coming up to some." Here we go. You step from behind the counter and fetch it. Placing it on the counter, you slide it in front of her, and she gives it a quick look over. Baxter looks up at you and wags his tail. "I want it," she says. "Hey, Sway ASMR. Hi, hi. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for coming. Hang out. We'll have fun." "I want it," she says. "Will you deliver it to my home? I can pay by check if you accept it, or cash on delivery." "Cash on delivery is fine." You quickly ring her up. As you finish, Lem returns to the store and tosses a poop-filled bag into the trash. "Thank you both," Miss Jenkins says. "You two have been so wonderful. Say goodbye, Baxter." The tiny dog barks once, making more of a squeak. No, I'm not going to make a squeak. No, I'm just going to say. Okay. She picks him up and leaves the store, thanking you again on the way out. Lem grabs a towel from behind the counter and wipes it down where the dog was lying. "Don't worry, I will take out the trash before I go and can deliver her package. Should we continue my interview?" "You say." We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 1, do you know a girl named Michaela? Number 2, what do you like most about Jericho Heights? Number 3, what do you like least about Jericho Heights? Number 4, would you be able to access less pay? Number 5, you're hired. When can you start? Number 6, I can't hire you right now. You think, what do you like least about Jericho Heights? You're thinking 3. Barlios is thinking 1. Barlios, we were going to do yours last time, weren't we? I'm going to do Barlios number 1, but Bardic, keep an eye out for the one you want, because I have a feeling we're going to have all these questions again in just like 2 seconds. So we're going to do 1, then we're going to do Bardic's. So let's try. Liam nods. "Yes, but I only worked with her twice. She wasn't really an employee of the store, as much as someone who sat behind the counter and kept your grandfather company. I didn't know her position or title and asked for an organizational chart. That request was denied. We didn't interact much, and that's fine by me. I'm not too fond of children in general." Whoop. I'm much farther Oh, you're much farther than I. You need to catch up. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to give spoilers, but I'm sorry. All right. Barlios, what did you want? We did one. Bardic, what did you say? You wanted to do least. What did you like least? All right, we're going to do that one. What did you like least? Here we go. It's a small town and there is only one of anything, he says, and then pauses like he expects you to understand him completely from those few words. When you don't respond, he continues. One Vietnamese restaurant, one hobby store with tabletop role-playing games, one bus route. At some point, I may move to a larger city with more options, but for now, I enjoy other aspects of Jericho Heights. I understand. We can move on. All right. So we've got one. What do you like most? Two. Would you be able to accept less pay? We're going to go, I'm calling rank. We're going to go most, and then let's see what we think. Leon rubs his chin and clicks his teeth before answering. The opportunity. My family came here with few expectations. Since then, my father had started a law practice, and my mother now runs a marketing company. We didn't expect such a small town to accept us so openly. Not all places welcome Asians or people who look like they do not come from America. Of course, we have had obstacles and some people have shown prejudices, but we never felt like we lacked opportunity. Great answer, you say. All right, here we go. Now we've got number one. Would you be able to accept less pay? Two, you're hired. When can you start? Three, I can't hire you right now. So it looks like you're hired would be great, but we don't know if we have the money because we're in debt. So we could ask, would he be able to accept less pay? Worst he could say is no. No. Sorry, give me all your money. I don't know, but I'm just saying. You never know. What do you think? Hire him so he'll come out. Yeah, I mean, if you hired him, he could probably help you make more money, so you wouldn't need to pay him less. I kind of like that. You're like saying you're a hire, when can you start? Yeah, it's certainly not insulting. And why would you go through this whole interview process if you're going to try and say, I can't hire you now anyway? That's kind of rude, don't you think? I'm thinking I like your idea, Shadow, where we go, you're hired. What do you think? I'm thinking we're going to do that. I'm thinking we're going to do, no, you're hired. I am hiring him. Baby, yeah, let me pay you. What? You're hired. Liam's face lights up with a beaming smile. Right now, I will just take out the trash and clean the store until customers show up. While I work, I will consider potential marketing initiatives. You will not be disappointed in my performance. I'm sure of it. You'll make a great addition to the staff here, which is currently just me. Still smiling, Liam heads off to begin cleaning the shop. You leave Liam to watch the store and head across town to the middle school to return Lacey's iPhone to her. Not wanting to move the red beast from its nice parking spot, you take a bus that lets you out right at the main entrance. It's a little into the afternoon when you arrive. You don't remember the schedule, but school should be letting out soon. Unsure how to find Lacey, you ask a teacher for help. They inform you that Lacey called out sick today. Since you don't know her address, you spend a few minutes getting to know the teacher and gaining their confidence. It only takes a warm smile and a few wide eyes, and 20 minutes later they indicate where Lacey lives. As you walk towards her house, you enjoy the quiet of town in the late afternoon. And about a quarter mile from her house, you take a turn onto Longview Road. only to be greeted by the sound of screeching tires, crashing metal, and breaking glass. You whip around in the direction of the noise and spot an out of control car half on the sidewalk across the street. Plowing through the outdoor tables of a diner, people are screaming and running to get out of its way. The driver leans half out of his window, yelling and swearing at anyone in his path. "Oh my God, it's Duke Bowie. He's gone crazy." You hear the voice of a random bystander shouting across the street. Someone might be hurt. You bolt down Juniper Lane, weaving around the cars, trying to figure out what has happened. Guess what, guys? We're going to call it a night. We will return back to this game. We're going to return on Wednesday. So, we're going to return on Wednesday, and we're going to pick up right here. I am going to go back to my Discord server and figure out who wants to play Dead by Daylight and who wants to play Phasmophobia. So, it has been a pleasure, guys. Thank all of you for coming and hanging out with me. Please, 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 please make sure that you come and hang out with me on Wednesday of next week so we can keep going through this game. I have enjoyed having you here. I have enjoyed having you as guests in my home, and I hope everyone has an amazing Monday. And if you need me, most of you probably know how to find me. It has been a pleasure, guys. Mwah! Is there anybody we should raid? I don't see anybody that's on this late at night. So I will shut this bad boy down, and I will see you in the shadows. Bye, guys. Mwah!